Hey everybody, Economic Ninja here. I hope you're doing great. I'm doing great. And the reason why is I'm with a buddy named Joe, Crypto Joe to be precise. If you haven't heard of him, you should check him out on Twitter. Joe, how are you doing?
Oh, doing great. Nice to see you again. It's been a little bit.
Yeah, I know it has. Sorry. Life has been so crazy. And you were at the Ninja Summit in Dallas because you live down near Dallas, right?
Right, just 20 minutes outside of Dallas.
Yeah, so hopefully we may be seeing you again for the next event. I don't know if we just, who knows what's going to happen in the next 4 weeks, but that's what we're here to talk about, because I know that you made a special video for me so that I could share it with the community on the Dixie as far as the dollar, value in relation to gold and silver. But today we're going to talk about Bitcoin, but it still has something to do with it. So let's briefly talk. Can you explain what the Dixie is doing right now and how it affects Bitcoin?
Right. Well, let me share your screen right quick and I'll get that going. Okay, this is the daily chart of the DXY US dollar currency index. And as you can see, going back in history, we've been making lower highs here. And then also we have this down trend line that we had to get up and over. Then the last, about 4 days ago, we couldn't quite get over that resistance line. As you can see, these wicks, so those were, the sell-off points there.
Yeah.
We were over the 20. But anyway, the last couple of days, I mean, it's been like it's been on rocket fuel. And
real quick, so I could explain something. Sorry, Joe. So what you're showing, the three lower highs that you're showing, that's in a time period of about, I don't know, 40 to 50 days, correct?
Maybe. Right. It started, the recent high was back in, the end of November, 25th of November, right, around the 24th of November, right here. And then, it just would come down, pivot low, pivot high, lower low, lower high, lower low. And right here really was the 100-day simple moving average that really helped us. And there's a little high pivot here and over here that was previous resistance, which held us support at that point in time.
Okay, so now what we're bringing up to everybody, just so you guys know, is when we're talking about the strength of the dollar, I want to first explain the reason why these last 2 days we've seen an explosion. It's pretty safe to say it's because traders are starting to feel like, oh my goodness, the Federal Reserve is actually going to do it. They're going to raise rates, and we're expecting a 50 basis point raise, which is the highest in 20 years in one time. So would that be safe to say, Joe, this is why we're seeing the dollar get strength, because there might be some interest attached to it?
Right, I agree 100%. Plus also, I think, not to joke around, but I think a lot of people are using it, the institutions are using it as a stable coin. It's risk off right now, believe it or not. And then if you look at the weekly, this is kind of interesting. Some people call this, cup and handle. I'm old school, so I'll call it just a fry pan bottom. And here's your fry pan there, the top of it. And once you break out, you can do a measured move, as you can see here from the bottom. A lot of people go to the very bottom, but I are more conservative to get a more correct measured move to where it potentially is going to end up. And I do the low pivot to the top of the pan. Anyway, we had a breakout right here a few weeks ago, the week of, the 1st of November. And we're looking at, $99, but if they hit 99, they're going to go with that whole round even number of 100. So I could see us, popping up here to 100. And then
Let's jump in real quick. So people's eyes might be rolling in the back of their head, Joe. So this is what, let's break it down simple. Let's go to those two massive wicks, the two green wicks in 2020. If you could point to it on the screen, those two massive ones. Okay, everybody, this is what happens when stocks or things are getting very scary. When stocks are falling, markets are falling, liquidations are happening. People are liquidating their assets and they're moving into the dollar, right? Joe, so that was a pretty scary time right back then, right? So somebody that sees this chart, they go, well, who cares about what the Dixie did literally just in the last 2 days? Look at those two spikes. But people need to understand those spikes came from not only in a higher interest rate environment, but it was a fear trade, right?
Correct. Risk off. Let's go to, flight to safety, so to speak. Yeah.
So now let's talk about this in relation to Bitcoin, because if your numbers are correct, where the top of this next cycle might come out around 4.784,
Right.
That's going to put downward pressure on a lot of assets, right? Including stocks, precious metals, and cryptocurrency, right? Because there's going to be traders that are going to want to move into the dollar in strength, like that risk off that you're saying. And we may actually see some more weakness in all kinds of asset classes, right?
Exactly. And I can show you the potential for Bitcoin if you like.
Let's do that. That's what we want to do.
And it's the BLX. And what I like to do is go to the monthly chart on this. And let me pull this up.
And real quick, guys, while he's pulling this up and getting his chart ready, you've heard from me, the economic ninja. I don't give financial advice. I'm just a dude, the bro hawking a dream. But about 4 months ago, I started talking about the importance of moving to cash. I didn't sell any assets, my precious metals, my stocks, my crypto. I sold none of them. Why? Because I could be wrong and it go higher. What I did is I stopped buying those assets, held what I had, and I started to accumulate cash. Well, just the other day, called Mrs. Ninja. We got a plan together and we started moving our cash into certain allocated accounts, like with Gemini for crypto, our TD Ameritrade account for stocks, things like that. We're still not buying. And that's what we're going to talk about right now. Okay. This is not financial advice. This is me positioning myself. And I don't know where Joe's at, if he wants to share, but this is the time when you may want to use your dry powder, but not just yet. You only want to use dry powder when an absolute sale comes in. So let's talk about that, Joe. What do you think is going to happen with Bitcoin?
Well, that's a good point. On the previous video, I'll go into more detail, but dollar cost averaging, that was a sales scam or pitch that Wall Street came up with, so that, every month or every couple of weeks, people would come back, put money into the casino. Okay?
Yeah, and it kept volume stable. So these exchanges or these hedge funds and stuff could actually liquidate and hide a lot of their sales.
Right. And there's only two assets that I would dollar cost average in, whether it's up or down. That'd be gold or silver, primarily silver.
Yep.
I believe in dollar cost averaging or scaling in on the way up as an asset's moving up, but coming down, I would not do that, because you don't know if it's going to zero or what. And it's hard to catch, as I say, falling knife.
Wait, real quick. Did you mean you think silver could go to zero when you said that?
No.
Okay. I just want to clarify that.
No, yeah. I was saying the only one I would, it would be gold and silver on the way down. I would dollar cost average, but Apple, Google, Netflix, I would not be. That's just me.
I completely agree, because at least with silver and gold, we know that there's an all-in cost. When it comes to mining. We know there's a bottom. Exactly. Sometimes it could go below it, shoot below it, but we know it can also shoot above it. So,
right.
Yeah, so where are we thinking?
Okay, this is Bitcoin here. Obviously, it's a monthly chart. And I found this just really by accident, and I'll run through the thesis real quick. And only one time in Bitcoin's history did we have and that's the trick, two or more red months, down months, followed by two up months, that we came back and validated or invalidated that low pivot. We came back and went under it only one time. As you can see here, two down months followed by two up months, never came back. Multiple down months, two full up months, never came back. Anyway, throughout here, and you can see that, pause it and look through here. Plus I have it, written out here. Yeah. But anyway, where we are now, this will be the second time in its history if we violate it. And we've been holding actually pretty good. We wicked under it, but the last one we had two down, two up. And we'll see by Monday, the end of the month, if we come under it and close and, violate that low pivot, or if we hold where we are now or higher and continue up. But bottom line, if we violate it, and especially if you take out that 20-month, average here, the red, and this long-term uptrend line, we could come back and possibly, I hate to say it, retest this high pivot here from our 20s.
You're giving a bunch of people heart attacks right now. $13,000 Bitcoin.
But the good news is now, Bitcoin violated this rule that I just went over one time. Yeah. It has never in the history violated the one I'm going to tell you now. New time high. We come back. Once you go over it, you never come back and violate, never go under it.
Okay.
New all-time high, break it, come back, test it, never go under it. All-time high here, Well, we came back, also got over it, and never came back. 2017, obviously we came down, tested it a couple of times, came back up, and we'll see. Time will tell if we come back, retest it, or if we, never, or if, we keep going, break up, maybe at 20,000. So anyway, that's the two, quick and dirty.
So you came out with a tweet the other day that said we may retest another low, or we may have one more dip before we take off.
Yeah, yeah.
What's your best projection? And I know you're not a professional.
Well, I'll let you in on some secrets here. If we can get back up into this wedge, which, believe it or not, today, see that green candle right here?
Yep.
We got back up into that wedge, which I had not seen that until now. I've been doing other things. And this is another little secret of mine. Don't tell all my fishing spots, but anyway.
I don't know if you know, this is probably going to be in front of a few people, just so we know.
Okay. Well, this is how I can, do a high guess prediction on some of this stuff. Anyway, low pivot here, high pivot up here. Okay, so that's the range we're dealing with right now.
Yeah.
There's your 50% zone, half of it. See how important that is?
Yep.
Come down, hit it, bounce back up. We can't violate that. We can't go under, between now and the weekend, well, Monday, we can't start trading under here, closing like we did here under that go dash line. Okay, number one. Number two, we got to stay in this descending wedge, because high probability they do break to the upside. Yeah, we broke to the downside. There's a lot of other external factors involved there with the stock market and everything. Next, we will be in safe land if we can get over this red dash line at 38,000. Let's just call it 38,200. This low pivot over here, that's resistance. And then it was, man, we were just really bought up, and that's how we ran up to our all-time high. And we believe once we get over it, of course, that'll put us out of this descending wedge formation. Then we can just, it's going to be a hard grind. It's not going to happen overnight, but we'll be
out of that range. Yeah.
Well, our knees, that right now we're hip deep, maybe wet, waist deep, chest deep in quicksand. We get over that 38,200. We'll just be like maybe knee deep in quicksand, to get out and go from there. A lot of this
above 43 and we're golden. Well, see, it's funny. Yeah. I was really hoping for 32 grand again, but it sounds funny. I didn't have my money set up. I had cash in certain accounts, but not in trading accounts. So obviously it takes some time, and I got to get home from work and take care of that. But I probably wouldn't have bought anyway on that free fall, because so many people, they do that. Man, I could have made so much if I would have bought, but the truth is fear was in the market that day.
Okay.
And
I'll share one more thing with your viewers. Just, we reiterate this on our Patreon site, but we can estimate with high probability when we're going to get a breakout. And that's one of the things we teach. And right now, this is kind of looking like it, to be honest with you. Now, yeah, I'm not going to count anything. I'm not going to go out to the barn and count the chickens yet. They haven't asked, because we still have 3 more days on this weekly chart.
Yeah.
And if we are where we are now, and hopefully higher, we could possibly be, looking at a continuation to the upside. But as quick as that took to say, we could be, coming back down there to that blue dash line, testing that 30 grand again, like you were alluding to earlier. So the next few days, over the weekend, say first next week, this is going to be real critical for the next, month or so.
Yeah. So I'm going to be sitting through the weekend, waiting, watching. I'm not going to rush in.
No. Yeah, I hear
I'd
you.
rather see us out of that triangle than me playing around and seeing if I can grab an extra 10 or 15% of Bitcoin.
Right.
So, yeah.
And this is a 3-day chart. This really looks good.
Yeah.
The 200 there holding support, that low pivot, potential reversal candle with that long wick. All that was bought up real hard. Also, I might add the third, I watch this almost every day. The third largest, and I can send you the link, the third largest Bitcoin wallet out there, they have been buying hands over fists, the last week or so. It's like they know
Yeah, and it's follow, and that's what the great thing about blockchain is you can literally follow the money with the wallets and see where money is flowing. That's what I used to do with XRP. So it made me sleep a lot better at night. Let's put it that way. Well, hey, let's do this, Joe, because we can't go too long. I want to tell everybody I'm going to drop a link to your Patreon account. I do this because, once again, I'm trying to help other people become successes. Joe is so much smarter and better at this than I am. He is like a master Jedi level compared to the ninja. And but also I'm going to be sharing a video later tonight on the community page about the Dixie and its relation to gold and silver and what he thinks. He made that special for the Ninja channel, but it will be on his YouTube channel. So if you guys check it out and you want more info, hit the like button and subscribe to Joe's channel on YouTube. All right. Anything else you want to close with, Joe?
Oh, well, good seeing you again. Hopefully we can see you. Well, we will, unless something major happens here in Dallas when you come back.
Yeah, we're going to be in Dallas the weekend of the 5th for that Ninja event. So definitely we're going to hook up. Well, if you guys want to run into Joe, let me know and we'll get him down there. How's that?
Okay. Yeah. All right.
All right. Well, with that being said, guys, I thank you so much for watching. The Economic Ninja is out.